Good morning. I'm about to head out to the airport because I'm going to go shoot a movie using my cell phone.
Let's break out. Come on, let's break out. Break out. Tell everybody break out.
So this is the first flight I've taken probably like for the last year, year and a half. I'm like super early. I don't know why I came here so damn early. They said that there's a whole COVID test and I didn't go through any COVID test. Let's go grab a coffee.
Got me feeling so free now. It's exactly what I need.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard this flight. This flight on flight time will be approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Time to break out. Break out. Break out. We about to break out.
Oh! Good.
How's it?
I'm actually quite happy. Give me a hug, man. What a nice surprise, man.
Did you have any idea? Not at all? Hello.
How's it?
How are you? You good?
Hi, thank you.
The Saturday is muff. We don't know what's going to happen. We find out on the day, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. But I mean, I'm very proud of the project that we got to do because finding freedom means a lot more than just entering a film festival. It has a very powerful message that stands by itself.
One of the most important parts about finding freedom is that it doesn't only captivate one particular subject, but it spreads across a number of topics and it doesn't isolate things. And a lot of the times when you deal with issues like freedom, we tend to isolate. It was very important that I captivated your message. Lack of freedom isn't rooted in all these isolated issues. It has everything to do with lack of introspection. We tend to act out our own beliefs and our own thoughts without questioning it or holding it to some level of accountability. We lack accountability as humans to a certain degree, and we almost become arrogant and inflict our beliefs onto other people instead of really trying to learn. And trying to learn and understand comes from a place of genuine love and genuine humanity, that if we don't show to ourselves, if we don't hold ourselves accountable, if we don't question our thoughts, if we don't question our beliefs, we could easily inflict that onto other people, and then all these branches of lack of freedom and lack of accountability starts to spread out, and it's just this whole big mess. So one of the major things that stood out for me with this project was I need to really do a lot of introspection and really just hold myself to a specific standard so that I can express that outward and, you know, really just contribute to the overall change and the bigger picture.
I dreamed that I woke up from a dream. A dream within a dream. The softness of peace inside my mind as I wither away the thoughts of iron burns.
A lot of the times you get projects that are just, they try to get a certain message across, and I think with you really took into consideration every aspect, and I think word for word you sat with and you thought about, and it was so clearly reflected in the message and the overall project. I mean, for it to be shot on the phone and the quality that it was, it's incredible.
I don't think people realize it was a phone.
Yeah, no, but I feel very honored that I was a part of the project.
So for this section, I'm just going to roll some of the behind the scenes stuff that I recorded. In fact, this is not really behind the scenes. This is just like while we were on location, I just kept on rolling because, I didn't want to miss a moment. I think one thing that you can appreciate with a one-man crew is that unfortunately I could not vlog this section, and I really wanted to like capture as much footage as possible so that I can do like a behind the scenes stuff and explain exactly what we were doing. But because of time constraints and we literally had the golden hour like for a couple of hours, so we just made sure that we got the shots that we needed. I made sure that I planned everything. I drafted the whole entire plot and plan. We also had like a fish, that was super fun. So it's important when it comes to any project of this nature that you just make sure that you got like all your ducks in a row, because it can get like pretty overwhelming quite quickly, and you can obviously lose your train of thought. And then in post-production you battle to obviously piece everything together, because you didn't have like a picture in your head or even on a piece of paper jot down like the ideas that you needed to execute it, because that's very important. You need to go in with a plan with something like this, especially with a short story of 3 minutes. To try and get like all of the ideas down in the shortest amount of time was very challenging. I shot as much as I possibly could because I had to fly down to the coast to do this whole entire project. So we basically hit the mark on every single location that we wanted to be at. We made sure that we were chasing the sun for the golden hour. And also a fun fact, during the course of filming, the attachment on my Moment case broke off, so it meant that the lens that I was using, the Anamorphic lens, I couldn't use it anymore. So on day 3 I ended up using the native camera of my iPhone 11, which just is a testament to a project of this nature, that despite having a small setback like that, I still managed to finalize the project, get all the shots that I needed, because we already had like a really cool voiceover that we did, and we did some ad-libs as you heard earlier in the video, which just made it extra special and extra cool that we could obviously put all of these things together. So with the voiceover and the supporting images, it just made the whole entire process like seamless. So I could spend a whole lot of time in post-production and make sure that I piece everything together and just submit it in time for the Moment Invitational Film Festival, which in short is MIF. So finally, I just wanted to add, for those that don't know what the Moment Invitational Film Festival is, it is a smartphone or mobile only film festival that happens almost every year. It's hosted by a company called Moment. They're based in Seattle. What is super cool for me about the Moment Film Festival is that it opens up an opportunity for aspiring filmmakers, perhaps don't have the funds or the money or the gear to bring any of their ideas to life. So the Moment Film Festival is really an opportunity for filmmakers to hone their craft, develop as filmmakers, and to be recognized. So at the end of the video, I just wanted to show you the rig that I used for finding freedom. This is a Ulanzi U-rig. One of my favorite accessories is the anamorphic lens that is attached there, and this is a filter mount that I attached. I can easily attach something like a diffusion filter. This creates like really dreamy footage. I used a 10% strength, and then I've got this Boya shotgun mic. And lastly, what I like to do is to keep the light under control, so I use a variable ND filter, and I can stack it onto my diffusion filter. So I still get that nice dreamy look with the diffusion filter, but then I'm able to control the light a lot better with this ND filter, because you can't adjust the f-stop on a phone, because the f-stop on all phones are basically static or fixed. The best way to control the light is using an ND filter. So this This helps me to keep a nice cinematic look, maintains motion blur, and I'm able to capture high dynamic range within a cell phone. Despite it having such a small sensor, I'm still able to maintain really great picture quality in 4K. Finally, the software that I like shooting in is probably my favorite software. I'm gonna take this off so you can see what it looks like. It is Filmic Pro. This just allows me to have manual control over my cell phone like a camera to get that nice professional look and cinematic look, and I use cinematic in inverted commas. If you want me to break down this whole entire rig and also the Xeon Crane M2 gimbal that I also used, if you want me to break down any of the gear that I have and explain to you exactly what the purpose is, and this is obviously directed for those that are interested in filmmaking and you want to start with your cell phone, I'm more than happy to make a video on that. But I think this video has been pretty long. Thank you so much for indulging and watching. If you watch this video after the 26th of June, the Moment Invitational Film Festival probably already happened and the winners were announced. But if you get to watch this beforehand, it's happening on the 26th of June. I'm really excited because as a South African, I entered the Moment Film Festival. Mobile filmmaking in South Africa is not a popular genre, to be honest with you, but there are obviously here and there pockets of people within the landscape that are into something like this, and I'm very proud to fly the flag for South Africa during the Moment Film Festival. And even though hopefully, fingers crossed, we actually make the cut, holding thumbs, we actually win a category, and hopefully the People's Choice is definitely a dream of mine. But I'm super proud of being part of the Moment Film Festival. This is my first international film festival, and I can't wait to obviously share with you any good news if I do get it. But at the end of the day, I'm really proud of the project that we shot with Finding Freedom, and I hope it resonates with you. And if you haven't seen Finding Freedom, I'm gonna link it in the description below so that you can go watch it. But other than that, thank you so much for indulging me. Please hit the subscribe button if you can. Support an aspiring filmmaker. And if you enjoyed this content, please share it, comment, like, do all the necessary things to support an aspiring filmmaker, content creator, and YouTuber. Until next time, adios. Cheers.